Practically everything in life can be reduced to mathematics. All one has to do is simply follow the sequence.
Okay, the murders have followed a sequence in real life, like in the book, right? First the cardiologist, and then that nurse with a warm heart.
No. That's much too simple. Our killer has more of an agenda than merely mimicking the book.
You're assuming that the killer's working in a pattern that we haven't identified?
Oh, I've identified it. And also calculated who the next victim will be. It's a fascinating formula, somewhat twisted for a model murder.
Okay, Victor, I'm fascinated already with the how. I don't care about that. What I really want to know is the who.
Well, assuming that I'm correct and the killer is following a predictable pattern...
Victor, spit it out.
Cherry Darden, the young hospital volunteer.
Okay, that's good. Cherry Darden. Okay, Doc, who was it? Who did you base Cherry Darden on?
No one.
That's an impossible variable.
Wait a minute, you said you based everybody in the book on somebody in real life, so...
Almost everyone, but not everyone. Cherry Darden may be the next person to die, but the world will never miss her. I made her up out of thin air.
Victor, listen, I trust your instincts. I mean, you are a genius after all, and you may be a little bit eccentric, and you have some minor quirks, but you did save me and my company with all those quirks. So if you say that Cherry Darden is the next to be killed, I believe you. I believe him.
I believe him, too. If Cherry wasn't a completely fictional character. Now, how is the killer going to murder someone who doesn't even exist?
Unless the killer doesn't know she's fictional.
The killer may try to fit someone to Cherry's description.
Cherry Darden's main goal was to please her family, right? She didn't want to make waves, and she worked at the hospital as a volunteer worker.
Now, given that the first two victims were hospital employees, that gives us a place to start. Now, going on Victor's theory, we may be able to find and protect the person who's due to be killed.
Monk, it's time to call the police!
Not unusual for some nut to try to get attention by getting involved in a high-profile case.
This wasn't some nut. It was Lark. I'm sure of it.
What the hell happened here?
Lark was acting out again.
Acting out? Frank, this is hateful.
Where is she?
She's not dumb enough to stick around. She ran away, of course.
Are you sure Lark did this by herself? Look at this place. You sure there wasn't something else going on here?
I was worried about that at first, too, but I checked around. All of her belongings are gone. The truth is, Lark flipped out and she took off.
There's no evidence of a struggle between two people. It looks like one person went completely out of control.
Absolutely.
All right, we'll look for Lark, bring her in for questioning. Do you have any idea where she may have gone?
Back to hell where she belongs?
Julie, this isn't the first time that Lark has run away.
Why don't you try that algebra pothead she was studying with?
I'll give you the names of some of her friends. But if you find her, I'm not pressing charges.
Let's just find her first, okay?
If you don't press charges against that witch, Frank, I will.
And what would be the point of that?
You almost died for her. She's completely ruined your house. She lied to the police to try to send me to prison for the rest of my life, and you're still protecting her? I don't get it. But you know what? I don't care. This time, I will slam her to the wall myself.
I am not pressing charges because from here on out, Lark is gone. She will never set foot in this house again.
Yeah, sure. We'll see how long your resolve lasts when she launches into another poor me.
I don't care what she does. It's over. Lark is out of our lives for good.
Hi. Hi. I'm here to check on Neil. You must be family? I'm Courtney Canellos.
Mom, this is Dr. Karen. So this is the famous Dr. Karen, huh? I hear you build a mean Star Wars model.
Oh, yeah, well, I'm thinking of making it my specialty.
She built Slave One with Dr. Joe and didn't even have any pieces left over.
Wow. Oh, well, you know. Hey, I'm an expert. I'm a doctor after all. Here we go.
And, where's your partner, Dr. Joe? I've wanted to thank you both for what you've done for Neil.
He's actually off duty right now, but I'll let him know that you're pleased with our work.
I'm more than pleased. We've been to a lot of doctors since Neil got sick. General Hospital is the first hospital he's ever liked. You and Dr. Joe, along with Dr. May, are responsible for that. How is he?
He's done good. His chest sounds good tonight. Good. So how are you feeling, buddy?
Better.
Good. I'm gonna go outside and talk with your mom. So you hang tight and I'll check on you later, okay?
Good night.
Can we go out in the hall?
I know visiting hours are over.
It's no problem. Actually, the peds floor is pretty flexible when it comes to concerned moms.
Well, I've been putting in extra hours at work so I can afford to pay for Neil's treatments.
Must be difficult for working parents, but we're giving him all the attention we can.
Well, I want to spend more time with him, but I have to work to make sure he gets the best of everything. I am so happy to meet you. He loves you guys.
Oh, well, that's great. We love him, too. He's awesome. And he loves you so much. You're the best medicine for him right now. He's not going on about Han Solo. He's going on about his mom.
You know, Neil has spent so much time in the hospital. So many treatments and therapies. He doesn't get many chances to be a kid. That Fred the Ferret therapy really helped. He keeps telling me as soon as he gets out of here, he wants a ferret.
You know, Neil is really hanging in there.
Yeah, he is. But I know my son is dying.
We're doing everything we can.
Well, I'm grateful for your care.
Hey, why don't you knock off for tonight? It's not going to do any good to look at this.
I was thinking about your mother. When Mary sees this, her heart is gonna break. This is where she raised her family, Frank. It's as though Lark trashed her memories.
Mom would be upset, but don't let that gentle exterior fool you. She's tougher than she looks. She would strangle Lark for this. It's a good thing she took off.
Well, Mary would have to get in line, because if I see Lark
You
again-
won't. We're not going to be seeing Lark again.
Oh, I wouldn't be too sure about that.
Why?
I found in Lark's room. The necklace her mother gave her.
That meant a lot to her.
She wanted to get away before anyone caught her. The necklace would be the last thing on her mind.
Frank, it is her only connection to any real family.
When people are in that kind of a hurry, they don't think clearly.
Well, that doesn't mean she won't come back for the necklace once she remembers it.
You both sound like you hope she'll come back.
Only to get my hands on it.
I don't think you'll get the chance. Take my word for it. Lark is long gone.
He's resting well. How is his pain? Any discomfort falling asleep?
Well, there is a little discomfort. Sometimes it seems so much harder at night. He's always had trouble closing his eyes when I'm not around.
His vitals are really stable. You know? He's more relaxed than I've ever seen him. I know this isn't the Port Charles Hotel, but, how does that sleeping chair look? And I
can get one of the nurses to get you a spare toothbrush. Karen, your wings are starting to show.
The floor was the only thing left untouched. You guys can give me an estimate whenever you can. Call me back. Thanks.
The insurance company?
Yeah, it's late, so I left a message. Yeah, I checked the policy. It looks like all of the damage is covered. We're gonna get a new living room out of this. No more living with Mom's retro 60s junk.
We got a lot of money for that junk at a flea market.
Well, it's all kindling now, thanks to Lark. Mom did love some of that stuff, though.
You have any idea what would have set Lark off? I mean, it seemed like she was turning her life around here, Frank. I mean, you seem to be making a difference with her.
Some people don't want to be helped.
It's really weird to hear you say that.
What is?
Your last comment, your attitude with Garcia. I mean, it seems like you're giving up on Lark, Frank.
1 minute I'm getting blasted for being a bleeding heart do-gooder trying to save the world, and the next minute I'm not living up to everyone's expectations of who they think Frank Scanlon should be.
I didn't mean anything by it, Frank.
What am I supposed to do for Lark, huh? I have to draw the line somewhere. This house means something to us, Joe. We'd sacrificed a hell of a lot to keep it in the family. I am not going to sit by and watch that kid destroy it.
All I'm saying is I was against Lark coming back in this house after that suicide attempt. But you stuck in there and you proved me wrong.
Look around, Joe. What difference did I make?
Stop being so hard on yourself.
Well, what did you say about Gary? I can't save every stray
Frank, it is not your fault that Gary OD'd from drugs.
I blamed myself at first, but then I started thinking about it, and I realized you were right. I have no control over the choices other people make. Gary wanted those drugs, he took them. Lark wants to run full speed into every brick wall, I can't stop her. I'm through trying.
Thanks for coming over.
Well, I'm actually surprised to hear from you guys tonight. I figured you'd be invited to that shindig at Windermere.
Well, of course we were invited. We just thought this was much more pressing.
You say your father thinks he's solved the murders?
No. We didn't say that Victor thinks he solved exactly the murders.
He's given us an idea on where to look for the next victim.
Is there another circus in town I didn't hear about? Look, don't get me wrong, Kevin. I appreciate your father pointing Julie out as the clown who murdered Grace Sullivan, but I hope you understand we're not exactly rushing forward with an indictment based on his testimony.
You're skeptical. I can understand that, but my father's a very intelligent man.
He happens to be a genius.
Oh, no, Lucy. I'm just a mathematician.
One of the finest mathematicians in the world. He's given us a theory based on the pattern of killings in the book.
I never got past algebra.
Well, assuming that serial killers operate according to some kind of pattern, the clearest pattern, the most logical pattern, is to be found in the pages of the book.
That much I do know.
Well, up until now, the order of the real victims has followed the order in which they were killed in the book.
Well, from what I recall, the next person that's killed in the book is the character based on Dr. Boardman.
Dr. Boardman left town.
Right, and even if he hadn't, we do not believe he would be the next victim.
I believe that the real victims are being killed based on the order in which the characters arrived at the hospital in the general homicide.
Don't keep me in suspense. Who's next?
Cherry Darden. The character's a hospital volunteer. The character doesn't die until the end of the book, but she's the third character to come to town.
Right, so we really believe the next victim is a hospital volunteer worker. We just need to get the list of all those on staff.
We might be too late.
Has there been another murder?
Lark Madison's a hospital volunteer. Kevin, she's missing.
Two, 4, 6, 8. Who do we appreciate? Kevin! Kevin! Yay! Way to go, killer. I knew you had it in you.
Why are you here?
What do you think of the new look? Personally, I never thought it would suit me, but since you've gone to such great lengths to be just like me, I thought, well, it's only fitting we look alike again. Just like when we were kids. I am not like you. I never have been. Oh, give it a rest. This is me you're talking to. Personally, I never thought you had the stomach for killing. Boy, did you ever prove me wrong. How did I do that? Every killer finds a way to express themselves, Kevin. You finally found yours.
But I haven't killed anyone.
Write that on the blackboard 100 times and you might actually believe it. But who wrote General Homicide? What did you think a book like that would do when unleashed into the world? Cause a spontaneous love fest?
More vicious.
And you've proven the saying, blood will out. You've even managed to impress me, and that is not an easy thing to do. You've made yourself the master of who lives and who dies. I've always had an affinity for fire, Kevin. Now look at you. You've poured the gasoline, you've lit the match. And you let someone else start the blaze. While you've washed your hands of the whole thing. Kevin, you're still holding the match.
Ryan was here.
What? Ryan, no, Doc, look at me. Look at me. He's not here. You're okay, okay?
Lucy.
There's guilt over the...
Lucy. Lark is gone.
I know, but Doc, they will find her.
Her disappearance only confirms everything that I already believe.
Oh, Doc, look, we are all trying to find the answers. You're just as much in the dark as we are, that's all.
Lucy, a killer is out there! Right now! Murdering people based on characters in my book, that is my fault!
It's not. Listen to me. Even if, and this is a very big if those murders are happening because of General Homicide, it's not your fault. Don't you see? If some sociopath went and bought your book, you're not responsible.
No. Until now, I could rationalize the first two killings. People hated Devlin. I know that. And Grace might have discovered who the killer was. Two crimes, one a passion, and the other just a cold necessity.
But you didn't have anything to do with either one of them.
A third person is too much to explain, Lucy. I didn't stick the pen in Devlin's heart. I know that. I didn't wrap a stethoscope around Grace's neck either. But I put those ideas into someone else's mind. Those ideas are mine.
You are not a murderer. You're not.
How do you think evil manages to survive in the world? Someone has to give it shape.
Not you. You do not have to take this on yourself,
A
Doc.
child shoots a gun into a group of innocent people. And who do we blame for that? TV violence? Shoot 'em up video games? Maybe they're just a scapegoat, and maybe they are part of the problem, but don't we have to ask ourselves about who invented the game, Lucy? I enjoyed writing that book. It was all a catharsis of impulses that I've had my whole life.
Okay, then. But everybody gets very angry in their lives, and everybody gets very hurt sometimes. We just all find our own very unique way of dealing with it.
And what we find ultimately separates good from evil, Lucy. We have a choice. We are responsible. I am.
No, you're not, Doc. Lark is just missing. They will find her.
They may find her, Lucy. But they won't find her alive.
People in this house eat food like it's gone out of style. We never have any groceries.
I don't want to cook anyway. Let's order something in.
You go ahead. I'm gonna go lie down.
Hey, Lark is gone. That means I can stay with you downstairs tonight.
Frank, I don't feel so good.
It's probably stress. Things are going to be very different around here from now on. There's been too much friction between us. We haven't spent enough time together.
I hear a suggestion coming on.
I suggest that we take off. Go somewhere no one knows us, where no one has seen your face in the paper.
That would be Fiji.
Or Bora Bora. I'm not picky.
Frank, I can't leave town. I mean, the DA already tried to label me a flight risk.
Well, let's just go somewhere where we can be alone.
It sounds like heaven.
His friend at work has a cabin upstate. He owes me a favor.
Frank, it's getting worse. Joe! Joe!
What happened? She collapsed. She's not breathing.
Is there airway obstruction?
Check it.
This is Lisa McCree.
And Kevin Newman. This week our series, Are They For Real, begins. Are you a believer in guardian angels, past lives?
We'll give you the facts and you decide this week on Good Morning America.
Want a sneak peek into next week's Port Charles? Click over to abc.com for an inside scoop.